Auntie.
Chilly. Hey, my love.
Hi, honey.
Thank you for chilling with me today. And, so we're actually not going to talk about the Sherry show today because honey, it was on the TV, but I wasn't paying attention. I ain't gonna tell you no lie.
Okay, she'll
Today,
forgive you.
yeah, today should have been one of those days like I should have skipped it. But you know what? We gonna have a good time.
Yeah, it's all good, baby.
Yes, and I found some tea to talk about.
Okay. I'm gonna move the workout till tomorrow
Oh, okay,
because I have things to do.
okay. Well, I can just finish chilling with my uncle tonight. We having us a good
Yeah,
little time here.
yeah. Okay, well, yeah, y'all can chill and watch some more Penguin.
Yep. He cut it off like right at he got to right to the end of episode 3, so he hasn't seen episode 4 yet.
Okay.
And hello everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea. Today is Tuesday, November 12th. Thanksgiving is right around the corner and I for one cannot wait. I don't know about y'all, but I can't wait. And I try not to talk about Thanksgiving so much because this is a security question and I don't want people to know what my favorite holiday actually is. I just like people to think
Uh,
that it's Christmas.
yes, lots of food, good family, good food, nothing like
Hmm.
it. I don't technically celebrate the holidays, but family always gets together. But I'm not big on you know Thanksgiving and Christmas and buying decorations and all of that rigmarole.
Yeah. I'm not that kind of person either, but I do appreciate the people who are because I love to look at the decorations and stuff. But I'm like, this too much work.
People actually hire folks to decorate their homes and all of that. I mean, it was fun
Hmm.
when I was a kid, which I think it's for the kids, really. The lights and the Christmas trees and the wrap presents and all of that. But you know, it's so capitalist now until after what Halloween they already have Christmas decorations for sale and all that
Yes,
kind
Lord.
of stuff. It's just become a very capitalistic occasion. So takes the fun out of it to me.
Well, you see Benji talking about she gonna decorate her during her office. Well, you go ahead and you better work, girl.
Go ahead, Benji.
Because the only decorations that was on my desk at work was a coffee cup.
Right. The hospital used to decorate, which I found a little, I guess, offensive because it's such a no other holidays were celebrated decoration wise. All we had was for Christmas, they would put up a big tree and you could decorate your door. Of course, there were limitations on the materials you could use, of course, fire hazards and so forth. But, I always thought that was a bit prejudicial because all kinds of people
Hmm.
work there.
Yeah, it is presidential because everybody's not a Christian.
Hmm.
Everybody don't celebrate Christmas. Everybody don't celebrate, I could see if they would do decorations like around Ramadan and stuff like that, then
Right.
I would feel differently. But they don't.
No Hanukkah, no Ramadan, no other, ethnicities were celebrated for their holidays. No mention of it. We got you got Christmas holiday actually named, like for time off, Thanksgiving holiday, and then two personal holidays, I guess, that would cover the others. They didn't have a name, they were just personal holidays. But when it came to decorating the hospital, that's the only time that they did it was for that.
Hmm.
So,
And
yeah.
I don't know if you just saw that breaking news about Louisiana, how initially they were trying to make it so that they can put the Ten Commandments in
Oh,
schools,
yeah, a
and
judge blocked it.
he struck that down. He was like, "Nope," and I'm glad because come on now,
They know
come.
it's supposed to be separated, but hey, now that you know who has been elected, I mean, I know maybe it's left up to the states, but they plan to do the same thing. They're going to leave it up to the states once they get rid of the Department of Education. So federally, they might not be able to stop it. You know, a judge might not have a leg to stand on. I, I don't
know it.
I don't know.
We gonna see.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a mess. Did you see Marco Rubio? He was talking about Hamas need to be eliminated, and they were like, "Well, do you care about all the people, the children, and the civilians that are being killed?" He said, "I blame it on Hamas. They shouldn't be having their bases around civilians." And girl, they do not care. They are about to let Israel run buck wild,
Hmm.
just like they've been doing. I don't know what the Muslim community thought when they were supporting Trump. I guess because Biden and Kamala were in office and sending Israel weapons, they figured maybe Trump would be a different flavor. Baby, no, no, no. It's more of the same flavor
The
uh,
same flavor and worse.
and worse. Yes,
A spicy version of this. Cause
yes.
mm,
So I'm like, well, that's what you voted for.
yeah, that's a really difficult conversation to have. I'm not Muslim, so I can't say I do have a lot of Muslim people even in my family. I know a lot of Muslim people,
Yeah,
and they were telling me their concerns, and I heard them.
yeah,
If an administration is like providing weapons and stuff to kill my family or people who look like me, I would probably feel the same way that they
yeah.
do,
I
honestly.
agree. Oh, I agree. I definitely thought it was horrible that we were sending them weapons, especially watching what they were doing and
Hmm.
continuing to fund them and send them weapons, in spite of them killing civilians. They didn't never stop. But why they thought the next administration was going to be different,
Yeah,
I'm just not sure how that came into play. But I get it. I'd be mad too.
yeah.
And then to threaten them with deportation if they get out in the streets and protest like they've been doing. Send them back over
Hmm.
there. I'm like, well, now that's a different flavor y'all wasn't expecting. It's a mess. I don't know what it is that Israel and the United States, what, how that works. That we would send them weapons in spite of the war crimes that were going on, obvious war crimes. I don't get it. I can agree with them, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's only gonna be amplified at this point.
Yes, indeed.
So all we can do is sit back and watch now. We not driving, baby. We watching. We riding.
Watching, and I got on my glasses 'cause I need to see clearly. Cause woo.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, that was our political corner, the political corner of Auntie Dare's Daytime.
Hope no one was offended. I'm sorry if you were. We're just giving our opinions. We are not
And if you
pundits.
were, oh god damn it, well, you know who show this is, and I don't care, give a damn about nobody being offended. I'd actually
Oh,
prefer that. I don't want people to agree with everybody.
true.
Well, so our first story, since we're not talking about Sherry today. It looked like she had a good show and she was pretty, but I honestly was not paying attention. So Sherry, I'll do better tomorrow, girl.
Straight in the tea time.
Straight into tea time. So our first story, I like to start off with the latest Diddy news. And this isn't really directly about him, but the Brooklyn detention center he's currently being held at.
Huh.
So I'm sharing a post from the New York Sun, excuse me, the U.S. Sun, that talks about how former inmates who were housed at this facility, they were saying that there's a way for the guys, the male convicts, to see the female convicts.
What?
Yes, honey. So let me just say it's called that area of it is called the 4 North unit. So the number 4 and then north. It says Combs will have his call to his jailhouse set up in 4 North unit of MDC home, which comes with an unsettling feature, the New York Post reports. According to the outlet, inmates in his unit reportedly have a direct view of the women's floor below thanks to grates that allow male prisoners to spy on female inmates through small holes. So
Oh.
a former inmate, he was a mob enforcer. His name is Gene Borello. He said if you lay down, you can look through the holes and talk to the women. And it says another ex inmate identified as G Lock. Now he sounds like somebody I do not want to play with, but he identified as G Lock. G Lock claimed that female prisoners occasionally engaged in provocative behavior through the grate. But Borello was quick to temper expectations, pointing out that the women housed on the third floor are far removed from the glamorous figures alleged to have attended Combs' infamous freak offs, of course. And he flat out said they're gross.
Oh wow.
I said,
Yeah, but when
dang,
you
Gene.
came, you ain't got no females around. They not so gross, right?
No, exactly.
Take what you
But
can
then,
get.
see, y'all don't watch Drag Race like that, but Aquarium, when she was dressed up as Melania Trump, she once said, any hole is a goal. So,
Oh, well, when you're in jail, you're not gay.
yeah.
That's what they say.
hmm Yeah, that's what they say. I mean, I guess I get why you in jail, but what's the excuse when you got, you know what, let me stop before I wake up some stuff that I don't need to wake up.
Well, maybe because you find out some things about yourself. And Benji, we
hmm
moved to work out till Wednesday. We're not gonna work out tonight. Just so you know, I got something to do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's hmm.
And another thing, this one does talk about Diddy, but it's about Sting. So you remember where it was revealed in 2018, Sting, he reportedly what he said on the Breakfast Club that because Diddy, he asked, but you remember how Diddy made that song to tribute Diddy with Faith Evans and
Uh,
112,
right. And wasn't he
and
paying Sting, for using his song? Like he had
uh-huh,
to pay him.
almost it was equivalent to 2,000 American dollars per day, and it
Yeah,
was reported that Diddy is going to have to pay that for the rest of his life.
right.
I don't know what's going to happen after if he going to get that money, but hey, but somebody asked Sting, like, after what's happened to Diddy and stuff, do you feel that this disgraces your song? And Sting pretty much said, nah. He said, no, I mean, I don't know what went on with Diddy, but it doesn't take the song from me at all. It's still my song.
It is.
Okay. Okay, Sting, you better pull rank. I love to hear it.
But 2 grand a day for the rest of his life, that's a hell of a judgment.
Yeah. Well, that's I think Diddy learned that it was some people that you can because usually he can get his way and just kind of disregard rules that have been put in place and stuff like that, unless it's for people like him with money. But this was the one time that it just did not work in his favor. He did the song and then go ask Sting for permission after the fact, after the song had already got big. So it says here in this article, he pays him a total of 1,491 pounds. So that I guess that equivalates to 2,000 American dollars a day.
Hmm.
But yeah, I
Forever.
hate that the article doesn't mention a forever girl, and I hate that it doesn't mention like what's going to happen to his royalties after. Because I mean, if ain't no money coming in, and Diddy can't get no money because he incarcerated, like how's that
Well,
gonna work? Does
his estate will pay it
his
as long
okay?
as he has money. It's still, his estate would pay it. Now, once the estate runs out of money, and Diddy has a lot of money, I mean, that would take time,
hmm
but yeah, I don't know. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, Will.
Hey Chris, hey Will, come on, Earth Sign Gang, yes. So our next story that we had, oh, and y'all, I was telling Chill and Benji that I didn't watch Sherry today. Well, Sherry was on the TV, but I wasn't paying attention, so I really don't have much to say about her show. I said I'll do better tomorrow. So we just going straight to the tea today. Now, our next piece of tea. Now, this is from In Touch Weekly. So they can't find Nene Leakes' son, honey. He's avoiding his probation officer.
It's not the one that just had a heart transplant.
Uh, is it?
Uh, oh, she got more than one son. I thought she only had
Yeah.
one.
No, she has two. And you remember this one that's in this article. That's a good question, Chill. I
This must be the
think
other.
Bryson might be the one who just had that.
The
Yeah,
heart
I think
transplant.
Bryson. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna Google it just to be sure.
Yeah, because he
But
can't have his own.
Bryson, because you remember we always.
Hmm,
hmm
you got to go to the doctor.
And
He
you
can't
knew,
stay
so
in.
we know because those of us who have watched the show, we kind of knew that she had the oldest boys. And the crazy thing about this story is that when he was arrested for them fentanyl charges
Hmm.
back earlier this year, remember he famously used his instead of saying what his real name was, he used it. He told the police that he was his little brother.
Oh, see, I didn't know all that.
hmm
I think that is the one who had the surgery, the oldest one.
Yep, he's currently 34. It says, according to the court documents obtained by InTouch, the probation officer who Bryson was supposed to report to filed an affidavit as part of Bryson's criminal case. In the affidavit, the probation officer said that Bryson failed to report on at least two occasions. He listed the dates as August 14th and September 30th. He said that he tried to call his cell phone, but Bryson didn't pick up. In addition, the probation officer said that he checked the local jail rosters and determined that Bryson was not incarcerated at the time.
Maybe he was sick. If he just had his heart transplant, if this is the same one, because it was
I
very
think
recent.
let me Google this. I want to be sure.
Yeah, if this is the same one, maybe he was sick.
Okay, so I'm Googling now. Ah, okay, so no, it was Brent. Brent, the youngest boy. He was the one who had the heart transplant back in July.
Oh, okay. Well, then no excuse.
Right.
Oh, alrighty then.
And then Brent was the name that Bryson gave the police when he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm Brent Leaks," when he was arrested.
Mm-mm. Be your own family.
hmm Yep, and we'll put in the comment Bryson is the oldest.
Wow. Well,
Now, show of emojis. Does anyone in here watch that show Yellowstone? I guess. Okay, so Quinn does. That's good to know, and my uncle does too. My uncle and his wife was telling me about it, and both of them were saying how good of a show it is. I'm just not a Western cowboys kind of girl. It just don't. I feel like that's TV for my granddaddy. Like, yeah, it ain't
yeah.
never appeal to me.
It actually looked like it's pretty good. I don't watch it, but I mean, it doesn't look like
I,
it doesn't look like it's a bad show.
I'm not a Western girly, but it is good as hell. Kevin Costner does his big one per usual. And it's also part of there's like two other series, short series that are like it's like a trilogy sort of situation to it. 1923 and something 18 something whatever, but it's basically a storyline of that family from how they started to present day Yellowstone, the present day Yellowstone series, which is about to end because Kevin Costner left. Um, and they're going to morph it. I think they're going to pivot to focus on a different part of the storyline.
Okay. Yeah, my uncle's wife, she was actually telling me, she was trying to explain. I was like, "Oh, this sounds fun. I just don't see myself like what." But and I'm glad you said that because I was about to, if you didn't notice by now, I was about to put a spoiler. But Kevin Costner, he said he didn't even watch it. He was like, he said he saw that all his face just advertised when they were advertising the series, and then they were talking about how like in the first or the second, because I think it was a a 2-part premiere that they had,
Mm-hmm.
and he supposed his character like killed himself by way of a gun.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but anyway, he was telling people in interviews that he ain't even watch. He don't even know how the season's gonna go. He left, and he allegedly left because he got into it with the show's showrunner.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's so people who have like been real fans of it, they've like speculated about a lot, and that was some of it. And then also too, he has some private projects, I guess, that he was trying to work on. So there was coming up with conflict with that, and then the issues with the team.
But
Yeah.
anyway, they were
Yeah.
talking about that, and then they were talking about how he was at a party getting all buddy buddy with an athlete by the name of Castaneda, who was 30 years old, because he just got him and his wife just separated earlier this year.
Right.
Hmm. So
Was
it
he?
was it was just them being flirty and taking pictures together. No, no other news than that. But you look, if
Was
she anything
he?
like me, honey, she gonna get that.
Was he in a gilded closet all this time?
Maybe.
Now
I,
y'all know the love of his life is Whitney. I don't know why y'all playing.
yeah.
Okay, wake it up, girl. They had this white man speaking at her funeral, and you know what? I didn't even mind.
Yeah, he loves some Whitney for real. Oh, well, okay then. That means nothing though. But
It does, but it's definitely gonna keep our eyes up. We watch you, Mr. Costner. We watching you.
well,
Now, guess who's about to pay their last child support payment on Friday?
who?
Britney Spears, girl.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep. So her youngest baby, and I just shared a TMZ link. Her youngest baby, Jaden, he turns 18 on this Friday, the 15th of November. And the amount of money that they were getting per month. I mean, I know their mama is Britney Spears, but damn,
What were they
she's gonna
getting?
make her she's gonna make her final payment of $10,000 on Friday. But basically, they were getting 10 each child were at one point getting $20,000 a piece per month. So it was a total of $40,000 she was paying out. After the first one, he aged out of child support age, so she's not paying for him anymore. But
Mm-hmm.
let me see. It says Brittany and Kevin agreed at the time that they divorced that she would pay him 20,000 a month for child support. But in 2018, so this is what I was talking about. 2018, it went up to 40K a month, an acknowledgement that despite their joint custody agreement, Kevin had the kids 100% of the time.
We did.
So yep, they agreed to the 20K a month after Sean Preston turned 18. And as of Friday, Brittany will be free and clear of child support, and maybe she'll forge a new relationship with her now adult children.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is like, why, since she's been out of her conservatory, has that not been renegotiated? Or I'm assuming maybe that the relationship is poor between the kids. Because if it were me, I'd be like, yeah, we're gonna go back to court.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she probably wanted to support her children. I mean, maybe she didn't want to do that.
No, I'm not saying not to not support them, but like I can understand why they may not have lived with her while she was under conservatorship because they was calling her crazy. But now, like since she's been free and clear, like what was the what was the blockage for that to be able to say, all right, cool, I understand that before I was paying this for whatever, but my kids are living with me now, or we're sharing actual joint custody now.
Well, but they weren't. Hey, Will, your hand is
Hey,
up.
Will.
Good morning, good afternoon to everyone. So my question is, I think this is wonderful. There's a missing piece to this. Like I also wonder how much Kevin was paying Shar Jackson in child support for the two children that he had.
Wake it up.
Oh, that's right. They had children.
Yeah, they had two together. So I'm wondering how much of that child support that he was getting every month was actually
Mm,
somehow allocated to account for his other child support with Shar.
yeah, because he definitely doesn't work.
Right.
Makes sense.
I'm actually googling that right now because I want to see myself. Does Kevin Federline pay Shar Jackson child support? And let's see what Google said. You know it's gonna be an AI generated answer, child. It says no. Kevin Federline was not paying child support to Shar Jackson in November of 2006. However, he was paying for their child's private school education.
Uh,
That's insane. And those children now adults. The youngest is 20 years old.
right, they're older than Brittany's kids.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm.
Yeah, so there's that. That's a good question, Will.
Wonder what he's gonna do when that money ends. Like, what? How does he support himself and those children? Like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Are they gonna suddenly come back and live with Mama or what?
So based upon what actually read yesterday, the youngest one is moving from Hawaii back to California, and Brittany is happy about that.
Mm-hmm. Is that where she's located?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And they live in Hawaii? Oh hell no. Mm-mm. Of all the states, of all the places to live, no. Mm-mm.
Cost of living be high.
High as hell. High as hell. And the Leader Island is expensive. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Well, we're about to find out, aren't we?
I think I'm gonna rub a lot of people wrong with this comment, but I kind of see him as like a white Bobby Brown, if you will. Cause y'all remember well, no, no, let me just preface this by saying that Bobby Brown is very talented. So I don't mean it in that way. But you remember how like when Bobby and Whitney got together and people were kind of, even though Whitney had her own series of problems before that, people kind of blamed her drug use
On
on
Whitney,
Bobby.
right?
And it's kind of I'm kind of because when Kevin and Brittany got together, I remember like oh he's making her do this. Oh you I know y'all remember that conversation. And we kind of seeing things a little bit different as the years went by. Now Kevin is he still ain't shit. Let's just say that. But I don't know. It's bad. And y'all know how I felt about Brittany after that whole Victor. How you say that boy's name? Wimbyana, one that
Women, yeah.
basketball player boy.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't like how that deal went down. I just thought it showed me it kind of showed me a little bit of her character, and I was like, I don't know. But I wish them boys luck because I know they want their mom in their life. So
Well, he was with her in a vulnerable period of her life, so um, maybe he did have some undue influence on what she was doing. She's a
yeah,
vulnerable woman
maybe.
as far as that other
Cause
guy
this
was engaged to as well. Like, he dropped her like a hot potato after she came out of conservatorship. And why was that?
also too didn't isn't the nature of Kevin getting with Brittany, the background story is that he left Shar while she was pregnant.
Yep.
They were engaged and pregnant, and she was pregnant, and he left her for him. So like, yeah, fuck him.
Because I think what was he her background dancer at the time or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
don't be sleeping
Mm-mm.
with the help. Don't be sleeping with the motherfucking team.
Well, wait a minute. Now it worked for Mariah for a little bit.
Oh no.
Please.
Oh no.
Yeah,
But
he got them checks and rested on his laurels, honey. He didn't do nothing else.
yeah, I think the only thing with Brittany is that like she was the sole support for her entire family. Nobody was really supporting or protecting her. They
Mm-mm.
saw her as a meal ticket, and they still do to some extent. So naturally, she was just out in the wind as a young woman, supporting everybody while nobody was protecting her. So
Yeah.
if you don't
Poor
have that
family.
structure in place to help guide you. Naturally, you're gonna go off the rails or do whatever it is you want to do and make all kinds of incredibly stupid mistakes. So
Right. As do so many child stars in the same situation.
Yep. Except for Jamie Lynn Spears. I don't care what happened to her. I don't feel sorry for her. You was dirty, and I would even argue to say that you deserved a lot of what happened to you, especially how we seen how you treated your sister.
who's that?
Her sister.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. That girl. The same girl, and you would think she would have a little bit more compassion because they literally canceled her show because she got pregnant. That was on Nickelodeon. And
right,
Mm-hmm.
it's
by one
like,
of the producers,
girl.
right? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Mm-hmm. See what I mean? And just like Benji said, I know Kevin gonna be sick about that child support ending. Yes, honey. Because where your other income coming from?
you better stock up on some Bengay and get to dancing on the beach somewhere. Shit.
Hopefully, he's
You
been
bet-
saving some of that money. He's
Yeah.
overweight. I mean, he hasn't obviously hasn't been doing anything physically. You know, he got the dad bod
Mhm.
on tilt.
So one thing I always know for sure is that at the end of the day's got to end, and his day is ending.
The end of the day is here, baby.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Now, were y'all able to see that Megan Fox? She announced that she was pregnant yesterday.
Yes.
That's
Hmm.
nice.
Pregnant by her husband, Machine Gun Kelly. Well, she actually has a I don't want to say unlikely supporter, but I was like, oh, that was nice. But someone who congratulated her is actually her ex-husband's current wife. So you remember she was married to Brian Austin Green for what, like 11 years?
Hmm.
And Brian's new wife, Sharna Burgess, I don't know her, but she seems nice. But she actually put a she took the picture, took a screenshot, and then posted on her Instagram story, pretty much congratulating to say congratulations, mama, and stuff like that. Because I mean, they do share like Megan has two children, or maybe three children with Brian Austin, and whereas Shauna has one
Oh, okay.
by him. So they got siblings involved. So I like to see this.
It's me looking for Megan Fox because who is this woman?
Girl, how do you not know her? They just plastered her all over the internet as
She done changed her face. I swear she done
sexier.
changed her face.
Her body
This
was
not.
everywhere.
No, I'm saying her face has changed.
Hmm.
Well,
This
that's
not the
Her
Megan
and
of
Machine
old.
Gun Kelly, just like and Machine Gun Kelly. I mean, dare I say he used to be a cutie, and he not so cute no
not now.
more.
Not anymore.
But
This
yeah, I
a
thought
whole
that was
different
really
person.
nice because you don't really see a lot of that anymore. Like when it comes to people, because a lot of these celebrities be sharing each other. But so you don't really see a lot of them like being supportive. I just thought this was a cool look.
Yeah,
And it
as
kind of leads me to
always.
believe that they all have like a positive relationship with each other.
It's a good thing.
Hmm. Well, our next story that we have, Sierra, she just had a new baby. And she says she's open to having her fifth child, but she just needs a little bit more time. So I shared a people link. And y'all see the headline. Sierra says she's open to more children with husband Russell Williams, but needs a little more time. He ready. Russell is ready and willing, honey. Even because talking about they got a joke in the house with child number 5 is gonna be named Cinco. I'm
Hmm.
like, none of you motherfuckers is Spanish. Why is you naming that baby Cinco? But okay, that's not my baby, so I ain't got no say in it.
Yeah,
But sit there and
Cinco.
then high fiving her and stuff, with the 5 fingers and stuff, trying to get her. She was like, okay, but I'm over here like Russell. Leave that girl alone for a little bit, okay? Give that coochie a rest. Girl, use your butt.
It,
Do
it, took-
something.
it took a
Not
while
use
for her to
your
snap.
butt. Jesus.
It took a while for her to snap back from this last pregnancy. I don't blame her. She does need a minute. She's put out,
Yes.
4 children in a short. span of time, and she does need a little break.
And she's getting older when it comes
On
to,
top of that,
yeah, and it affects your body differently for sure.
yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah. So
that's what.
some people get lucky, like the dancing lady. She had her son when she was what 50, but believe that was an anomaly, and they had a lot of issues that arose with that as well. So
Hmm.
Hmm.
And I think once you start doing that with your body, you run the risk of having a child that is has some physical or mental, deformity, because you're depleting your body constantly. And babies take a lot out of your body. So you start hitting 9, 10, 11 children. Um, you got to really kind of space that out. And most of the families that we know of that were on television that had that many kids, the youngest kids have problems. The Christian white lady that didn't believe in the birth control. Well, I don't forget the name of their little show, but they had what 14 or something like that, and her last one had problems. The black family with all the multiples, their last kid had problems, with head shape and heart problems, and he had surgery to fix his skull. And it's, you just can't keep depleting your body like that, because somebody's going to lose out, and it's normally the child it's going to happen to. So you got to do something better.
if I'm not mistaken, like before, um, I guess you can call it a child is viable. It's considered to be a parasite because it can't live outside of the house by itself.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
It is. I mean, by the definition of a parasite,
Yeah.
it is. And it takes what it needs from your body. And if you don't have what it needs, then problems, happen. So she's right. She needs more time. Physically,
Hmm.
I think she's, okay to have more if she wants to take the risk, but she become more high risk with each one.
Yeah, so it seems like everybody understands that she needs more time, except for Russell.
Yeah, he wants a lot of children. Well, he said that in the past. He wants a lot of kids. She knew that
Hmm.
when they married, I'm sure. But
It just when I read that story about them, like when they were first dating and they were in there praying and crying together, I'm like, I'm sorry, but this is giving cult. Like, what is y'all crying for? Like, girl,
well, high emotions. I mean, you don't see
I
it
guess.
when you're so emotionally intertwined. You're praising together. You're loving. It could bring you to tears, tears of joy.
I guess, girl.
You
You know,
know,
Because
every
you
time.
never,
Sorry.
you
oh,
never
go
get.
ahead, Will.
I was gonna say every time I see Russell Wilson, I think about that Demi Lovato, those Demi Lovato tweets that turned into memes when she was addressing Matthew Knowles. Who was like she said, "Get a job, get away from her," or something like that. That's what every time I see him, I think about that.
Hmm.
It kind of well. One thing I do like about him, I do like the idea that he famously left that white girl for Sierra, and now have a really happy family with Sierra. Right? That was cute to me. But I don't. It reminds me of y'all know Israel Martin, the gospel singer,
Hmm.
and how he was cheating on his wife so bad, but then met with Adrian Bylon from Adrian Norton now because they married, and they had a story about like how they were in bed crying together. He was crying and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, her pussy must be good if he crying like that. But then I read the story, and it's like they were crying because they were praying. I'm like, if you don't get out of my face with this, get out of my face with this. Crying in the bedroom. Don't cry in my bedroom because I'm gonna kick you out.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Israel married when he was courting Adrian?
And was
Oh, a Christian musician. Is that correct?
a Christian musician who famously had, and not even with Adrian, one wife he had, he famously had two babies on her with another woman.
What?
Not one, but two.
He was slinging his Christian all around, huh?
slanging that sanctified stick, honey, just slanging it.
He was giving holy water to the entire congregation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They the worst, baby. They are the worst. And to see the way people follow some of these evangelists. Remember, who was the one that kept getting caught with hookers and kept Jimmy Swaggart? He had to apologize so many times, and people would still worship this man and send him money. You remember Jimmy Swaggart? I think he's
Yep.
still around.
Yes, my
Uh,
grand still watches him every single morning. Good
get
Lord.
out of here.
Yes. Oatmeal and Jimmy Swaggart is her routine every morning.
That's
Lord have
grandma
mercy.
shit, huh?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it at
Funny
all.
funny you mentioned that, Joe, because one of those times he was caught with the lady of the night. It was actually in my hometown down the street where we actually used to live. It was crazy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh dang, you should have went to go knock on the window and said, "Hey, hey, my grandma loves you."
Oh, I didn't know who he was at the time. I was a child. I had no idea who that man was.
Oh my God. It's just I don't. Mm-mm. This is why Trump is president. That's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
These people with these behaviors just floor me. I don't understand it. But anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of weird Christian behaviors, so this next story I'm gonna talk about. So I don't know if y'all know this, but Chad Ochocinco,
Hmm.
somebody else who's not Spanish but want to use Ochocinco, but whatever. That's another story for another time. But he broke up with his fiance, and they actually had a marriage their wedding set for February of next year. So
Hmm.
of course she's not gonna be a part of it. He said, "Look, I'm getting married no matter what." So he feels like
What?
he's invested. He was telling Shannon Sharp on their podcast. He feel like he done invested too much money. So I'm getting married in February. I don't know whoever gonna be there. Then it's whatever.
To somebody?
And look, I'm just like, now I know Chad ain't shit, but both of our last names are Johnson. It might could work. Uh, it might could work. And look, I cook, I clean, and I shut up. So
Wow.
let me stop because I don't do any of that.
He gonna be like Dennis Rodman and marry himself. He gonna have the tux and the wedding dress on.
Hmm.
This is crazy.
It's so sad though, because I think he's such an attractive man, but he is
He's nuts.
crazy.
He's nuts, and he eats
Hmm.
ass too. I think he's a
Now,
white.
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't his daddy have like a similar reputation?
I don't know anything about his dad.
You know him? What's his name? Seal Johnson, the singer.
I know Sil Johnson, but I don't know anything about him.
That's no, I don't want to allegedly. I think I do remember hearing something about him. I know his relationship with Selena Johnson was a little rocky. They really didn't get along much.
Oh,
So, and yes, if you didn't know that Selena Johnson is his half sister.
oh. Well, I know he beat
Hmm.
Evelyn's ass. Chad did.
Hmm. Yep.
So you whip one, you gonna definitely hit another one.
I'm a firm believer in that.
Wow. So he getting married no matter what. Okay.
No matter what. So, hey, I'm gonna be around. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna look to see in February of next year. I'm gonna see if something happened. Look, I feel like if he's serious about this, it's gonna be some girl that's gonna
Who's
be
gonna do it?
willing,
Yeah.
and some gay guy, some gay guy
Somebody.
named Derek.
You know what?
Look, Chad, Mr. Ochocinco, I already got the last name, baby, so we already halfway there. You just let me know when you ready. Well, I know somebody who's not going to be getting married because they just broke up. So y'all, I know y'all remember seeing Madonna and her young boo
Mm-hmm.
who was 28 years old. Well, they actually quietly split up, and they did so last month in October. See, I ain't hear nothing about this, but his name is Akeem Morris, and it says Madonna has. I just shared a link from what's this UK Style or OK magazine or whatever. But it says Madonna has quietly split from her partner Akeem Morris, according to reports. Madonna was 66, Akeem was 28. They were previously said to have been enjoying a fiery romance. They had been romantically linked since around July and were thought to being loved up over the summer. It's now, however, been alleged that the pair quickly separated in October. It's claimed that the relationship has run its course and there are no hard feelings between the singer-songwriter and former football player Akeem. Discussing the apparent breakup, a source told the Daily Mail Madonna ran into the same issue with this boy toy as she has with all of the recent men. The age difference became a big issue. They come from completely different time periods. And yeah, I can see that.
I just hope he came away with a bag.
I'm sure he didn't leave empty-handed.
He got some
I'm
pretty
sure he
teeth.
didn't.
I mean,
He does. Nice looking guy.
they didn't realize there's going to be an issue with the age before they got together. That's always something that I've always wondered. I typically stay out of people's business, but when it comes to like cross generational relationships, the first thing that comes to my mind is like one, how do you all's value system align? And then the second one is essentially, what exactly do you all have to talk about?
Sex.
That's the
What's
problem
stuff
is
to
that
talk
they don't.
about?
That exactly. That's the problem is that they don't lead with talking.
Right.
That's the problem. They don't lead with talking. They be like,
I,
"Oh,
I view it as a fling. Like was it supposed to be a long term thing? I wouldn't be looking at it that way from him or her. Like, why would we think it would be any different? She can have a young man and move on to the next one and the next one and the next one.
hmm Child, look at him teeth. I know he was tearing Madonna ass up, honey, and she was enjoying every minute of it. But in my experience, and I kind of because a lot of my peers like me, they tend to like to date older, as I do. Y'all know I'm not shy about it. I like uncles and granddaddies. So yeah, there's it's a lot of times speaking from experience, it does not align up with your partner. Like it usually sex is the only thing that connects y'all.
I mean,
and
basically,
and even with me, I'm sitting there trying to act like I was because I dated somebody older that had money, but me, I'm trying to be the different. Oh, I don't want you because of that. I like you for you. And if I could tell me, like, if what I know now, I would have told my ass, "Look, would you shut the fuck up and just let this man spend money on you?" Because I'm
oh,
sitting
you
there,
were serious.
yeah.
You wasn't lying at the time.
I wasn't lying at the time, but now I'm thinking back like, damn, bitch, you should have got a bag. Like, what's wrong with you?
Mhm.
Well, yeah, it happens. And the last story I have, so yeah, y'all see the news really wasn't given today. It gave a little bit, but not much. But the last piece of tea that I have, so I don't know if y'all heard about this, but this FEMA worker, she was fired from FEMA because she put in the team's chat and like she was giving like best because basically what was happening FEMA, they were going down canvassing people to make sure that they were good, people who done filed insurance, they if they needed help, this lady, she actually told people to avoid homes that had Trump signs on them, and she was fired because of that.
Mm.
So she spoke out and said, "I don't even know why I was fired because this is not an isolated incident." Let me read the
Well,
article.
mm,
Look, chill. You doing what I was doing when I was reading this story? Like,
mm,
well, 'cause
yeah, like is she saying that out of revenge? Like, come on, girl.
yeah.
Look at her eyes. Look at her eye. Look in the eyes.
Uh-huh. You see
I
him.
don't believe her. I don't believe her.
But yeah, she told this to Roland Martin. And what she say? Her name was Marnie Washington. She said she was fired last week over the saga. Broke her silence in an interview with YouTube podcast, not them calling him a YouTube podcast, Roland Martin, arguing that she has been following a widespread FEMA policy of avoiding politically hostile homes. It says FEMA and then de-escalation. This is not isolated. This is a colossal event of avoidance, said Washington. Not just in the state of Florida, but you will find avoidance in the Carolinas. Said, where is it?
Well, in defense of the Carolinas, they were very hostile towards FEMA. I don't think FEMA would intentionally withhold support from anyone for their political beliefs, but these people were chasing them down with weapons and things like that and being open hostile to them. So I just don't, in the light that she put it in, I just don't buy that.
Them
Yeah.
being obtuse is crazy because there was even a video recently of a black boy in Tampa, in the Tampa area, who was walking in his neighborhood getting harassed. So to think that there's no validity in what she was saying and why she was cautioning people to go to houses that were actively um advertising or whatever supporting Trump, like that's not that I personally don't think that that was something that should have been taken with a grain of salt, and that she should have been fired for. I think it should have been a real thing that was brought to the table to be discussed. Because again, I saw top people talking about it from the other side, and basically it's like, oh, reverse racism, man, why would she do that? It's against the law, it's this and that, it's discriminatory, etc. But if helping trying to help somebody who's ignorant is going to put my life at risk, baby, you can have this job.
Right. But she made it sound like I don't know. It wasn't given in that context. Like I said, they did have some violence toward FEMA workers there. Put it in that context, not that they were just gonna skip Trump supporters. Come on.
Yep. And let me see if I can take a so that way y'all can see the screenshot that she sent the because it was in there. You know, when you at work, you kind of get those like when they send you bullet points and best practices and stuff. It
Right.
kind of looked like, the way it was written to me, it looked like this was something that's been in practice with them for a long time. Like this didn't. If y'all will see what I'm coming, I'm gonna save it to my computer and then upload it up here. Let's
So
see,
it wasn't
save
just this disaster,
image.
other disasters too. Is that what you?
Hmm.
Maybe they've had some bad experiences. Now, I would definitely, if, as a black woman, have. I mean, you've seen some of these Trump homes where they have big flags and the side of buildings covered with Trump, and even out of election season, I might, I might not go up there and ask them if they need some help from FEMA.
No, especially considering how FEMA treated has historically treated black people, especially during Hurricane Katrina. I think she's innocent.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ain't no way. Like, if you know historically people who live in those homes are not smart
Yeah,
and very hostile,
they are.
why would you set somebody up for the okey doke? Like, no, I would definitely tell them, hey, by the way, best practices is to avoid these houses, and we will have someone else, spin the block. We'll have somebody of their demographic spin the block for them.
But I just posted the screenshot of the team's message, and you can see how it says, implement best practices. Not one goes
Hmm.
anywhere alone. Avoid homes advertising Trump. Practice de-escalation and preventative measures and stuff. So this pretty much looks like this don't look new, if you get what I'm saying. Like this looks
Yeah,
like
Mm,
something that they tell their workers like on a daily basis.
yeah, they probably have had some incidents. I wouldn't put it past them.
shoot, I know way back when I was looking for my house, when I was in the market to buy a house, there was I think two houses that I went to look at that had either Trump supporting signs and or the thin blue line signs, and I quickly told my realtor, "Never mind, don't worry about y'all. Ain't nobody got time for that." Because those people are very ignorant collectively. Not all, not to say that all of them are, but more times than not, they finna act a plum fool, and I don't shouldn't anyone be subjected to that, especially when you're in the position of trying to help.
Now, was it on the home you were looking at, or in the neighborhood in general, plus the home you were looking at? Did you
In
say?
the neighborhood and the home that I was looking at,
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at,
You don't want to
yeah,
be surrounded by that. I get it.
no, mm-mm.
Because they
I don't
will
blame you,
harass you.
honey.
Me neither.
And
We've
you
heard
see how
stories.
yes, honey. We were still I haven't seen it in a while, but remember that lady who bought that house in was it Queens or Long Island? It was one of them, but she kept being harassed by her neighbors, and then that it
Mm-hmm.
was a black man that pretty much went and stayed
Was
in his
staying
car
wall.
overnight to look.
Yep, I
Hmm.
remember that. Yep, it's happened. So, yeah, I don't blame you for that.
Well, y'all, that was all the tea I had for us today. Like, so before we head out, did anybody have any tea that they wanted to share or any tea I might have missed?
The only other tea happening is political, child. We don't even want to go there.
Right. I try my when I tell you because I know we are all exhausted, and I try when I tell y'all I try my damnness to avoid them kind of stories because I don't if I don't want to hear them and I don't want to talk about it, I know y'all don't want to hear them. So,
Mm-mm.
We as a people just need a break.
hmm
We're not going to get one anytime soon. Every day, every day, every day, that name is going to be in the news again. So,
hmm
I watch a lot less news these days.
You know what, chill? I find myself doing the same, and you know I love news, especially local news, but I
Mm-hmm.
can't do it no more.
Mm-mm.
Well, I ain't gonna say no more, just not as much as I used to, because I still want to
Right.
get a little piece of something that's out there.
I'll watch maybe like the end, get the weather, things like that. But to watch it like I used to, and the national and the evening news, the worldwide news, I don't, can't watch that no more.
But if y'all see me in public with David Muir, y'all just mind your business, okay? Just mind your business. We
No,
just talking. That's it.
baby, I'm running up on y'all. What's going on here, Mr. Muir?
Hmm. Well,
Yes.
y'all, thank y'all for coming to sit with me. Thank y'all for listening to the ones who couldn't join live. Thank y'all too. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for taking time out your busy schedule. We will be back tomorrow with more tea, and tomorrow I'll talk about the Sherry Show. Like I didn't talk about it today, so I'll talk about it tomorrow. But thank y'all for coming to sip with me.
Bye, everybody.
Oh.